We did,
Alan. We have several principals who can put you in check-ins.
you haven't called the meeting to order yet, so we can do whatever we want.
All right, it is. 4:15.
Power of the mute.
4:15, I am calling this meeting to order. I'll do a roll call because we are on, some of us are on Zoom. So, Ms. Richards. Here. Dr. Curtis.
Here.
Dr. Garcia.
Here.
Ms. Packard Rangel.
Here.
Ms. Barker.
Here.
And Mr. Feldbaum.
I'm also here.
I am here, so we have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda.
Can I propose to accept the consent agenda from here? Is that legal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you can't do is vote on imposing fines or financial matters, things of that sort. But they can vote, right, Myra?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I propose to accept the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor, and I will do the roll. Mr. Feldbaum,
Aye.
Ms. Barker,
Aye.
Ms. Packard Rangel,
Aye.
Ms. Richards,
Aye.
Dr. Curtis,
Aye.
Dr. Garcia,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The consent agenda is passed. Next, we have the director's report.
I'm very excited to announce that we've been selected as one of approximately 60 libraries to collaborate with a Grammy Award-winning artist whose name shall be announced after they announce it on their social media. So communications has been working with them on the design. It's pretty exciting. You may or may not know them. All the young people will know, well, many young people will know. We'll see. But it's an exciting project to be a part of. Western is moving along, framing complete, electrical and plumbing rough-in is almost done. The electrical transformer was installed by AEP. So that means we're not too far from getting electricity, which is exciting. They should be starting the roof any day now. In other capital news, the heat over the last few weeks has resulted in some HVAC failures, particularly here at Maine and at Lakeville. Lakeville fixed. Maine, we have a number of units that have gone out. We've been having story times here on this side of the building because there is in the story house right now. So you'll hear a little bit more about that in a little bit. And then we've had meetings with Avonmarsh about the plumbing replacement. 10 people attended the American Library Association conference in Chicago, including Alan. I think he found it quite helpful and interesting. I always do. Ran into somebody I worked with 15 years ago who's now at Omaha Public Library. So it was nice to talk with her and see what they're up to in Omaha. But lots of sessions on AI, not surprising right now. And then staff attended sessions on leading from the middle, games-based library services, serving patrons with disabilities, etc. I'm working with Elkhart Public Library and InFocus to do a study on the economic impact of libraries. And we think that will help us talk with legislators and stakeholders about things people don't think of typically when they think about libraries. Economic development staff, Jeff Ray, Bethany Hartley, Bill Shalliel, they all know that libraries contribute to that quality of place that they're looking for when they're trying to bring business into town. We're trying to quantify that through this study. And then on Jeanette, I met with Rhonda and Alan as part of the finance committee to talk about HEA1 and the impact over the next few years, changes to local income taxes. Brian Tanner, president of the county council, did convene a must committee to talk about the future of local income taxes. Local, what do they call it? Municipal units that are impacted by that are not invited to participate on the committee. as part of the statute, but Mr. Tanner invited us as part of a working group. So every affected unit is invited to that, and that's on August 13th. So I'll be there. And then I included that list of partners that we are currently working with. And then Hillary had a question about the Library of Things task force. We put that Library of Things in our strategic plan project. So they are meeting, they've met to see what other libraries are doing. They did a survey of some other libraries that have Library of Things. So they will make a recommendation to us by the end of October. They're going to do a staff survey. So Library of Things is what can you circulate that's not necessarily books. It contributes to sustainability. It also helps with affordability, because if you need, say, a sewing machine twice a year, you don't need to own one then. You can check it out from the library. So what will we circulate? TBD. We'll let you know, and we'll have a recommendation. So we're going to get some patron input on that before we make decisions. And that's all I got. Oh, yes, new format. Sorry, excuse me. Patron engagement dashboard. That link is right in that document. And Rana, I'm going to throw it to you. Thank you for reminding me.
The system-wide gate counts rose by 10%, and that's primarily driven by LaSalle and Center reopening. But I wanted to point out that both of those locations, their numbers now are consistent with June from 2022, 2023, and 2024. So I thought that was pretty cool that they're back up to what we've seen in the past. And then physical circulation held steady, but digital circ went up by 6%, with Canopy once again increasing nearly 30%. So people are still discovering Canopy and sticking with it. Then I just wanted to mention a couple stories from youth services. One thing was a skills trainer was in the department with their child, their client, and they thanked us for having a Juneteenth display, especially highlighting a book about Claudette Colvin. And then teens are still discovering the teen room at Maine, and there were 2 teens who were there for the first time, and they painted watercolor bookmarks. And then their mom came in and took a photo. Their mom left, and they continued to do more crafts. They got on the iPad, they played foosball. It's just pretty nice. So they feel welcome there. And then other teens, they did the watercolor painting, and they asked, "Can I come back and do this?" And the staff was like, "Yes, of course, you can come back." So just some nice stories about the teen room and youth services in general.
Thank you.
Thank you. I found the partner list to be pretty impressive, so I want to thank all of you for working on that. Any other comments on the director's report? Okay, I will have a motion then to accept the director's report. Dr.
Second.
Curtis Smith. Ms. Tucker, did you second? Ms. Richards second. And so Mr. Feldbaum,
Aye.
and then Ms. Barker,
Aye. Sorry about that. Aye.
Ms. Parker Rangel,
Aye.
Garcia. Aye. Dr. Curtis, Ms. Richards, and I vote aye. All right, here now. How do we get back? How do we get back to the?
It should be just swipe up a little bit and find the other app. And then you have to put that pin back in.
Okay, got it. All right, next, we have the financial report, Ms. Stansler.
So you all have the normal fund report and the revenue expenditure appropriations report. And so unless there's some specific questions on that, but what I will, Azari has actually pulled up a snapshot of, it's really our working budget to actual, as most of you know that we do have circuit breaker, which actually reduces what our budget is to an actual amount of what our revenue will be. And so this little snapshot at the bottom, it's a redundant, everything at the top in general is redundant, except for the first column. The first column is the breakout, of the appropriation by after circuit breaker. So that's $21 million. And so you'll just see that we've, so far, through June, we spent 9 million. So we really are exactly where we expect to be at about 53%, gotten through half the year, that's 50%. So it's a little bit over, but that's not to be, unexpected. As we had, snow removal and some other things. So really to be at about 3%, over that number at this time to the year is actually great. We had a little bit of, with our circuit breaker, we got a little bit, more, in our payment in June. So that helped out a little bit. And so I expect us to continue, as we have been, probably spending a little less, than we have, and still lay in the same trajectory we are going through the rest of the year. So unless there's any questions specific to, either of the report, it's good.
Does anybody have any questions? All right, then I will take a motion to accept the financial report. So move. Dr. Garcia moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Curtis second. It's been moved and seconded to approve and accept the financial report. Ms. Richards?
Aye.
Dr. Curtis? Dr. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Piper Ringel?
Aye.
Ms. Barker?
Aye.
And Mr. Feldbaum?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Financial report is accepted. Do we have any unfinished business? Any new business?
I have a question. How's the degree working at the dream center?
Good.
Okay.
We just added some financial titles because of the, I can't remember what it's called, but within, they have a financial center
Yes,
there. So we added some more like personal finance books, but people are using it. Good.
Good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So new business, Western change order.
So I've detailed for you a change order increase of 32,788, which has some additions and some deductions. This is still within budget. I will say our budget is tight at Western, and so we're being very cognizant of the money when it comes to that project. So for example, as we've seen some of these additional expenses come in that are non-negotiable in terms of, you see the East Eve and the West Eve, they saw some problems structurally. You cannot not do structural things. But we went back and looked at some other things. For example, the carpet, we went back to the manufacturers and asked for a discount, and they gave us an $8,000 discount. So you'll see that one come through next time around. So we are trying to do some of that as we go to make sure that we don't go over budget on this project.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the Western Branch change order 4?
I move to
moved.
approve Western change order.
Okay.
I second it.
Ms. Dr. Ringel, moves and Dr. Curtis seconds, whatever. It's been seconded. Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Feldbaum,
Aye.
Dr. Rangel,
Aye.
Ms. Richards, Dr. Curtis, Dr. Garcia,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Next, Western shelving package.
I think
Yeah. We recommend approval of the Western Branch shelving package not to exceed $150,000. And you'll note that the actual quote is for just over $140,000, but we need to make a couple adjustments. A couple of the shelving units need to be taller and a couple need to be shorter. And we just needed a little grace there to make up for that. it might end up being about the same, not exactly.
And I will say this is one area where we really examine that package carefully and reduce the total cost of that. Just by, I mean, Lisa and Dave went in there and were like literally measuring the number of books and where they would go on the shelves and trying to make sure that we got what we needed and not more than what we needed in terms of shelving. So they really found a huge cost savings for us there.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the Western Branch shelving package?
So moved.
Dr. Garcia moves. Dr. Curtis seconds. It's been moved and seconded to approve the Western Branch shelving package. Ms. Richards? Dr. Curtis? Dr. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Packard Ringo?
Aye.
Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Feldbaugh?
Aye.
Western Branch shelving package is approved. Next,
Did you vote on that?
sorry,
Did you vote on that one?
I vote aye. Thank you. Collection development policy.
Good afternoon. We request approval to update section 6 collection development policy of the public policy manual effective August 1st, 2026. The update includes the following changes. Revise and organize the overall policy for improved clarity and ease of use. We added the criteria requiring self-published materials to have professional reviews or demonstrated community interest. Clarified that inclusion of a work does not constitute library endorsement. Recognize the use of professional judgment in selection decisions. And a copy of the proposed policy is attached along with a redline version showing the proposed revisions. And a couple of us on this team worked very hard to make this extraordinarily more readable and more organized. Yes.
Good question. How many unpublished works do you get submitted? Or should I ask?
I would have to ask Dave, we can come up with a number for certain. One of the concerns is self-published materials have gone up to about 5 million a year, which used to be around 1.5 million. So people are trying to make money doing self-published works. It's very difficult to keep up purchasing self-published works because we don't get the discount for library purchases. A lot of these are unreviewed.
Unedited, many of them as well.
Unedited, they can be kind of sloppy, and everyone can go on to Amazon and say, all your friends and relatives can say this is the best book ever, but without a published review or being on a bestseller list or local authors we take out of this mix, but it's becoming more difficult, and we need to have a way to say to patrons, you know, we don't buy every single book that's recommended to us. We couldn't afford it.
You go from 1.5 to 5 billion.
Mhm.
I should read a book.
Right.
Yeah.
Publish it yourself.
And a lot of this is.
could
a lot of
write
this is-
it.
You
Yeah,
could.
and a lot of this is AI generated, so it really is an issue.
The problem they have.
Other questions?
And if I remember right, last year, we talked about something like this and you guys were being very careful to try not to get just the AI generated books and stuff
Correct.
in all of this.
That
right?
was last
Okay,
year.
That's what I.
They still get through sometimes,
Yeah.
but staff on the receiving end, even at branches, I just heard recently about one. It had 2 different covers, same content inside, both AI generated, and the staff members sent them back. The staff at Francis actually noticed, sent it back, and we returned those items. Wow, it's crazy times.
Yeah.
Other questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the collection policy update? And by the way, thank you for all your work on this. It was very thorough and
Yes,
I liked the slimming down part.
yes. Lisa is the absolute wordsmith of putting things in order. A lot of this was duplicated information, and she's amazing at that.
Yes, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move.
Dr. Curtis moves.
I second.
Ms. Barker seconds. It's been moved and seconded to approve the collection policy update. Ms. Barker,
Aye.
Mr. Feldbaum,
Aye.
Ms. Packard Rangel,
Aye.
Ms. Richards, Dr. Curtis, Dr. Garcia,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Election policy is passed.
And there's, one more question. So the process of, let's say I do write a vote, how do I, what's the process of somebody submitting it to the library? And how does it get read?
Excuse me, Marvin, can you get a microphone closer? I'm having a really hard time hearing Marv.
His question was, if you self-publish a book, how do you get it seen or read at the library?
Got it. Thanks.
It's a different situation if you're a local author. If you're a local author, we take those books in, review them, and a majority of the time they end up on our shelf for people to be able to check out. If this is worldwide, that's a whole publishing company question. It is very easy to go and self-publish. You can do it yourself. You can do it at Amazon. You can do it through a small publishing company. That's why everyone right now is trying to publish books, because it's a big money-making venture.
Amazon is the most common way to
Yeah.
self-publish your book, and then it's usually labeled as Amazon Creative
Yes.
Publishing or something like that. It's real clear on the Amazon site that it's a self-published title.
So you guys read all these?
No,
No.
no, if it's got that, if it's clear from Amazon that it's self-published, we just move on.
Oh,
So don't do that, Marvin.
If somebody, like Aaron Hellman, are his books self-published? I want to say he's a local historian.
oh, yeah.
He'll let us know and then we'll
Yeah.
add that to the collection because it's got local interest in
Right.
particular. So those we will add, but also not every local self-published author either. So we just reserve the right to be a little selective even with self-published authors.
Good to know. Thank you.
Right, next item on the agenda is HVAC at Maine.
Okay, we've been having some issues here at Maine with some of our units. We had a couple of different companies come in and inspect. Unfortunately, it was determined that 11 of the current water source heat pumps, which are air conditioning and cooling units, in the main library public service area have either failed, like the youth services story time area, or are about to fail, including children's story house and the teen room. We solicited 3 quotes and Edward J. Wright Incorporated was selected to remove, dispose of, and replace these units. They will also reinstall the existing building control units with those units. And the total cost was $111,338. Due to lack of lead time, because this happened right during the big heat wave that we had about a month and a half ago. We actually had to order some of these units because they can take anywhere from a month to 3-4 months to be able to get them in.
So we're asking for retroactive approval of this order.
Any questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the HVAC quote, the HVAC, what are we purchase? Purchase, okay. Do I have a motion? So moved. Dr. Garcia moves. Second?
Sorry, second, Dr. Curtis.
Dr. Curtis seconds. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the HVAC purchase. Ms. Richards? Dr. Curtis? Dr. Garcia?
Aye.
Ms. Packard Ringel?
Aye.
Ms. Barker?
Aye.
Mr. Feldbaum?
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Do we have any other business?
No, ma'am.
Next, we have updates from the Library Foundation.
About, not from, I work for the library.
actually, I start with, you don't need a picture for. So private groups working to support public entities is nothing new.
I'm sorry, Bridget, would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My name is Bridget Morey. I am the Development Director for the library, and I report to Anjanette Dantzler, the CFO. I'm the library's liaison between the two organizations, between the library and the Library Foundation. Enough?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm more comfortable with this. So private groups working together to support public entities is nothing new. PTAs have been around for over 150 years. But as the need for greater revenue and transparency and accountability rose, we needed to professionalize the philanthropy landscape. And that led to the formation of foundations, education foundations, library foundations. And that leads us to, what is the Library Foundation? I'll just do that. What is the St. Joe County Public Library Foundation, and how is it different from the library? The Library Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Those numbers and those letters are important. Those two terms are not interchangeable. And the library
Okay,
is a government,
like,
is a municipal corporation. The foundation's primary focus is fundraising and advocating for one entity and one entity only. It's in their name. Now, there is some overlap between the two organizations with advocacy. Library Communications is involved in advocacy, and hopefully all staff are, and fundraising. I work for the library, but there is a very clear line between the foundation and the library here. Only the library is involved with library governance and policy. The foundation is not involved with that at all. When they recruit new board members, they make that very clear. So how did this all start? In 1982, Dr. Robert Sweeney and other community leaders formed the Friends of the Library Foundation. It was the South Bend Library at the time. And you see here just an evolution from when they were the Friends. It looks like renovations spurred that formation, and all the way to 2023 when they changed their name. So the Friends officially changed their name to the St. Joe County Public Library Foundation. And it was really a reflection of a subtle but incredibly important shift from being advocates that did some fundraising to fundraisers who do some advocacy. So why not just donate to the library? You can, people do. It is tax deductible as allowable by law, as long as it's for public benefit. It's a public library. That's just about everything. But there is a few differences. Think about when you might want to go to a special event as a fundraiser. Are you more likely to attend if a close friend of yours asks you and excitedly tells about the organization they love and they volunteer, they give up their time freely, or if someone you don't know who is paid to tell you how great the organization is makes that same invitation? There is incredible power in the volunteer voice, both for invitation and for solicitation. Now, 501c3s are eligible for far more grants than a municipal corporation. And the library is eligible for some grants, 501c3s aren't. But the flexibility is the wonderful part. And this is a group that would appreciate this probably the most, including Anjanette, that the foundation does not work with the State Board of Accounts. They work with the IRS, but not the Board of Accounts. So they have tremendous flexibility in the timing and how they spend their funds. And the donor trust, that's more institutional. The individuals who donate to support the library, they probably would write a check to either organization, but we saw a record number of donor advised fund gifts. And even though the individual directs they want it to go to support the library, the donor advised funds are run by companies and wealth managers, and they're much more comfortable just working with 501c3s. They're comfortable with that. The how. You can go ahead. The how. I could spend a week-long seminar on this, It is still a work in progress, and yes, I had a picture of a souffle. So imagine you have the foundation and you have the library, and they're working in separate kitchens to create one souffle. Now, the library has far more resources, and so they have all the main ingredients, and we're giving the foundation yeast and sugar. With baking, we know it's a science. It involves so many things that has to be absolutely precise. And if you don't get that right, different things could happen. You might not have a souffle, or you might have it boil over and burn down the kitchen. So with all public support organizations, this is not just between our two organizations, with all public support organizations, defining the relationship and nurturing the relationship is one of the most critical things and one of the most challenging things. So you have to think about there are 3 different types of public support organizations. You have to determine what they are. The MOU is a good start. And then how do you work with staffing? Shared staffing, separate staffing, how does all of that work? And there are 9,000 public libraries out there. Just with that, and then all sorts of different people, different ingredients. One group might want to make empanadas. Okay, so it can change. Oh, sorry. Also, if you're fans of British Bake Off, imagine you're making the souffle in the tent, and the weather represents state and federal taxes. It could change at any time. So this is critical, but we are working on it. And then finally, the impact. Now, I report amount donated. I don't report exactly what we can spend because there are online processing fees and crowdfunding fees. So this is going to Western. The foundation makes an annual gift that the library gets to spend how they want. Jeanette this year made a very detailed budget, and the impact goes beyond the numbers. With foundation board members, they expand the network. Then you have innovation. We have innovation everywhere run by the library, but the foundation and other donated funds take the risk of the innovation because they don't use the library operating budget. And if it works and it's good to replicate, maybe the library can take over that funding. But donated funds take the risk out of that. And they do the important and gradual work of building culture of philanthropy, all to support the St. Joe County Public Library. That's really the end of my presentation. I do want to quickly introduce, we have a few Library Foundation board members here today. Online, we have Jessica Stuckey, who is our president, and she is one of the few members, if not the only one, there are more. She's one of the few members who came on board when it was a Friends, and she stayed on. We were very clear. We're now focusing on fundraising. She stayed on and has done a great job. She is also on the governance committee with Casey Buckles, who is here, and she is the vice president and the chair of the governance committee. They're the ones who have done so much incredible work with the MOU and recruiting. And one of our newer members, Adrienne Batiste, joined us last year, and she's been helpful with the events and has a lot of incredible ideas for fundraising. So I'm really glad the 3 of them were able to join us. That's it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Christine, I want to honor your work because I know this is close to your heart. So thank you.
I was back a member pretty close to when Dr. Sweeney, who just died recently, started the Friends of the Library. So it's been going around for 40 years. Decades, we say. We don't like to say number of years, but yes, I'm so glad. And it did need the evolution. I just want to give my praise to the current board members. And nice to see Adrienne, who worked with me back in the day. So nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Christine.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Thank you, Bridget, for your presentation. It's very informative.
Are there, I just have a quick question. Are there events for fundraising that are posted that we could find? And okay, great. Awesome.
Yes, we have. Next year will be the 4th one. and it will be on May 7th this year. We have the flashback book fair. So we have retro music, retro themes, and we have plastic book fair. It is an adult party, 21 plus. And this year, we've already reserved it. It's gonna be back in the Story House, air conditioning permitting. It'll be back in the Story House in the teen room. So we get about half of the proceeds from the sales, as Scholastic dollars. So it's a fun party, but it's also an event to raise funds specifically for Summer Reading Club.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
And I will say there are so many grants that we could not apply for without the foundation and their 501c3. So they're really helpful in that capacity as well.
Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, thank you again. Let's move on to the hearing of visitors. Do we have anyone signed up?
We just have foundation members here. I think we just have foundation board members here.
I thought maybe on Zoom. No one?
No.
Okay. All right, the next library board meeting dates, August 24th, Monday, right here, 4:15. And that's all I see. The next one. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Dr. Curtis has moved to adjourn. Second. Ms. Richards has seconded. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming and thank you all for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
those of you